So I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much, because this little creation would not have happened without you.
Oh, such a nice thing to say.
Well, I mean it.
Well, I think, from the very first story you sent me, the first thing that I thought was, this lady can write.
Oh.
So it's been an absolute pleasure working with you and actually coming up with the stories. And I think I thought the funniest thing was when you sent me the last. I don't know whether to put this last story in. I don't know whether should this one go in. And it was like the absolute jewel in the crown. It was just the one that absolutely it floored me. That story, absolutely gorgeous. Because it had me bawling my eyes out. My daughter came down and found me sitting in my chair going, howling. So what? It's like just a story I've read. Aww. So yeah, it was really powerful, and I think it's such a fantastic book. So it was an absolute joy to help you work. On it. So.
Well, I think when I first met you, and you said you did coaching for writers, and I thought, I don't know if I'll ever be, up to snuff, as it were. And I think I sent you something and said, does this pass muster or something? And you said, it definitely passes muster. But at that point, it was the cold potatoes.
Yes.
The cold potatoes, so the pot of cold potatoes. And you sort of said, well, if you went to, that certain store in Edinburgh and you got this special sort of butter, those potatoes would be even better and you could mash them. So I went away and I did that, and I came back with my pot of potatoes, and you said, that does look a bit better. But now I think what you need to do, and you have to go to this particular shop, and it's 3 blocks around and 4 buses and 5 trains, and you have to get this specific cream and add it. And so I went away and I did that.
You have to stir it in the right direction as well.
And I had to stir it in the right direction. But it had to go left, I think. Not right. And then I was like, I don't know what you did, but it was like you wove magic, and those potatoes suddenly tasted really good.
Oh,
it's
it's a marvelous process. Every author needs an editor. Every single one, because it's like we think we've created this absolutely fantastic thing, but you need somebody who's on the outside who says, but how does that work, and what's this, and sort of like, and how does she feel, and all those questions. And it's all I do is ask questions, really, and sort of say, well, how did that, where do you want that to go, and stuff like that. So
but it's those tiny nuggets, and even just on the little blurb piece that I did, I noticed you just made a couple of word changes, and suddenly it was like, that is so much better. Why didn't I think of that? So it was still my work, but you just sort of went, and we'll just polish it up a bit here, and it was magic. So thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. It's been an absolute joy working with you. It really has. I can't wait to read the novel. I can't wait to read it. So you've got to get working on that one.
All right. Typing away. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So the first thing you got published, was that Stir Crazy?
First piece of fiction I got published. Yeah, absolutely. Was Stir Crazy. Yeah.
But how did you feel? Because that was the Book Whisperers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is
well, that was such a neat project, because I think you'd sent me an email after we'd met, because I had read The Bigamist in Canada.
That's right.
And so meeting you was like, I read your book. And you really exist. And it really is your story.
And I'm not a completely crazy person.
No. So that was like, amazing. And then you sent me an email saying we were doing this lockdown project, and and then I watched the sort of Monday night thing on
Lunacy.
You were talking about naked cycling and stuff.
Every week it gets mentioned, the naked cycling. Yes, every week.
Sue looks shocked and horrified. But and then Stir Crazy, which was lovely.
Is this one here, yes. So, and that's your story. Do you know where your story is?
Well, I've got about 3 in there.
That's right, yes you have. Which you've got Inside the Mind as well, haven't you?
So
how did it feel when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, I know, and actually it was quite sort of like, that's me. And I sent it to a friend as a gift, and she just loved it. And it's kind of nice being in print. So then the next thing was Love Bites.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Did you feel more confident doing Love Bites because of Stir Crazy?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And all of the things that the book whisperers, sort of like all the little clues. So you think it's three women having a bit of a crazy conversation, but it's not. It's three women giving out golden nuggets. And if you catch them and you say, I'm going to do that homework, I'm going to engage in it, it makes a huge difference. Because you suddenly realise, I'm taking it seriously. I'm taking me seriously as a writer.
Oh, fantastic.
Which is brilliant.
Well, that's exactly, I mean, this is exactly what we set up to do, because it's we first met in last year, trying to set up a book festival in Midlothian, which didn't happen because of COVID. Not quite because of COVID, but that's a shorter version of the story. You know, we just sat down and went, well, what can we do to help and support writers and stuff? And we thought, we're not nurses. You know, we're not frontline workers, we're authors. And then we thought, oh, people are going to be stuck in their houses, you know, for months on end, and maybe they could actually do some writing. Yeah. So we decided to sort of do the free courses for them. So
changed my lockdown completely. Fantastic. So thank you.
Oh, no, fantastic. I'm so glad. I mean, it's made our lockdown completely fun. So, and so many other things are coming out of it. So you never know, you know, sometimes these global disasters can be turned into something wonderful, which is fantastic.
I think a lot of good creativity. 2021, exhibitions, books, everywhere.
Everywhere. Marvellous. Fantastic.